we need to talk, I think, quite seriously today about the elite. It's difficult to make a video about it because if you do, it just comes across as jealousy and it doesn't always come across as constructive. And I need to talk about kind of a few things, a bit about dating, a bit about the world itself and socially, because I kind of feel that at the moment it's only the elite that have relationships, that find happiness. It feels like the average person like me, and yeah, I am using average, it feels like the average person like me is not playing on the same playing field. I wanted to talk first about generally what you see on YouTube. What you see on YouTube will be from established people. It's difficult to say this, but if I look at the top YouTubers, they have come from a privileged background. They will not have experienced hardship. They will not know what it's like to struggle to pay for food. And that's not saying at all that someone from wealth cannot have empathy, cannot be a nice person. That's completely not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is part of life is that some people are privileged. Some people have extra opportunities in life. Some people have advantages. I would be naive to even sit here and say that I don't have some advantages. I have a nice face that people seem to find attractive, and I'm a white person, so in some ways I have privilege over some people, which is sadly how the world works. I received one comment a while ago and it actually broke my heart because someone said, "You're a white woman, that's what high value men are looking for." I read that comment and I just felt like so bad. I was like, that's not even true for a start. I sometimes feel that people on YouTube, they almost aren't angry enough because they haven't experienced hardship. It's no fault of their own, but people will make videos saying, "I don't care, I'm not bothered, how I don't let people affect me." And I think people that make content like that generally haven't experienced hardship. They haven't had to think, shit, where's my next bill coming from? I mean, just before Christmas, basically something went wrong with my electricity bill. They said I owed £5,000. I didn't. I literally sit and edit YouTube videos. I'm not growing a cannabis factory. But I was panicking because I did not have £5,000 to pay the electricity company. I had to sort it out. They just put my direct debit up to £500 a month, and it's like, I can't afford that. I can't afford £500 a month electricity. And it got me thinking because I was like, luckily I had some savings and I could tide myself over. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that reserve of money to pay bills like this, and I can feel myself getting about it. But basically there's some new taxes coming in the UK, the social care levy, and also energy prices are going to increase by about £700 a year. And I honestly don't know where I'm going to get that money from. I generally don't know where that money is going to come from. It's going to put a lot of people in poverty. I mean, it's going to be a struggle, probably won't be able to put the heating on as much, but it is generally a ticking time bomb in the UK, and it's going to plunge a lot of families into poverty. And no one seems to care about this because YouTube seems to be, I'm not being funny, but YouTube at the moment just seems to be white people lighting candles, making videos about how I remain unbothered. Nobody seems to care anymore. It almost seems to be that people only care about the self. People only care about journaling, meditating, all about the self, all about self-worth and how I can improve myself. And yeah, I have made a couple of videos about self-worth, but I also acknowledge the greater world, that there are problems in this world. It can be frustrating seeing privileged people telling me to be fucking grateful, if I'm honest, because this is kind of my reasoning. Like, I haven't taken this from somewhere. I generally think that rich people experience anxiety and poor people experience depression. The only time I felt anxiety is literally when I was doing my GCSEs and I had to revise for 15 exams at the same time. I have not felt anxiety since, because I've always been trying to, support myself and trying to make sure I've got enough money for the month. When you have to worry about bills, you don't experience anxiety. That seems to be something that only affects rich people with no problems. Watching rich people with anxiety can honestly get really irritating. It's not like I'm a socialist person. I've spoken openly on this channel that I want to make money, but I still care about people because I've been there and experienced it. I literally cannot stand women on the internet that are fighting to show their nipples on Instagram because they think them not showing their nipples is somehow a sign that the patriarchy is keeping women down. That is literally not what you should be fighting for. People are literally fighting for the wrong things, like climate change, for example. I personally don't believe all the stuff that's out there, but super gluing your hand to the floor so hard-working people cannot get to work is not a constructive way of fighting. People should be fighting for the mass poverty that is going to happen this year. People are completely underestimating it, how it is going to affect so many people, and no one seems to care. I don't know, sometimes YouTube can just feel like it's the elite telling people to meditate and everything's going to be fine, telling people that they're stuck in a victim narrative. Well, some people generally don't know how to get out. It's not as easy for someone. Are you telling me that someone that's disabled is in a victim narrative because they're not just being grateful and thinking, well, I'm in a wheelchair, but at least I can think? People have advantages in life. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you're a man and the patriarchy doesn't affect you doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean because I'm a white person, racism doesn't exist or colorism doesn't exist because it doesn't affect me. I can still tell you that there is a lot to fight for from my personal experience. It does feel at the moment that only the elite are winning, and I'm not even gonna go down the whole dating market because I think a lot of the stuff that's put out about the dating market is honestly just made up, not even statistically valid, as if taking statistics from one Tinder survey can be extrapolated across the whole of the country. It's not true. I don't even know where this whole 10% of men are cleaning up kind of thing came from. People don't tend to put their sources. It's just honestly bro spoken word on the internet. It's not even valid. It's literally, oh, if Jordan Peterson said it, must be true. But at the end of the day, it's just an opinion, the same as my channel is just an opinion. There could be a rich person sitting watching my videos saying, well, you're stuck in a victim narrative. And yeah, they're entitled to that opinion. There's more at work that plays with this, and it does feel that the elite have more options, and we have to accept that life isn't fair. Not everyone will make it out. I had to go back to work last week and I felt like a failure because after 2 years of doing YouTube, watching motivational content, I hadn't made it. I hadn't made it as a YouTuber, and I had to humble myself and see, oh, okay, I haven't made it. What's plan B? I know I'll get hate for this, but Jordan Peterson isn't my dad. So if I do a podcast, some people have more advantages than me. And I'm sure she's a nice person. It's nothing against her personally. But what I'm trying to get at with this video is that there are certain privileges in play. I don't have $2,000 worth of audio equipment to make my videos look professional. This isn't just like a video for women. It's a video for everyone in that is that no one is coming to save you, basically. I'm saying my piece and I'm saying what I believe. And we live in a democracy where we can, up to a point, say what we feel. And I'm just grateful I live in a society where I can say what I think. Maybe I'm bitter, I don't know, but the elite have more access to relationships. And that's why I don't identify with anyone on YouTube, because I do not see anyone in my position. I only see people that have made it and are successful. And YouTube likes aspirational content that it can push onto other people, business content that it can make high revenue ads from. But like I say, most of the people on YouTube that's successful have already come from wealth. A lot of them aren't self-made. I know I'll get backlash for saying that, but it's true. You show me a YouTuber now that's living on a council estate. It's not true. The voice of YouTube that you see is from a certain type of person, usually a white middle class person, and that's what we need to acknowledge. We need to acknowledge that the views on YouTube are from a certain proportion of society. I generally don't know how we break out of this elite supremacy on YouTube. The only way I can see breaking out of it is honestly turning my channel into a simp channel. That is the only way realistically I see, sadly, my channel blowing up, as if I turn my channel into a simp channel, giving dating advice to men. But that's not going to help men. If I can just say my bit to highlight the injustice, then that's all I can do.